Asahi, the main character, comes back home, and when he opens the door, he finds his sister's best friend, Hanako, doing yoga in the house. He greets her and asks what she's doing. She pays attention to the ice cream he bought and wants some. Asahi gets flustered and tells her to wear a little more fabric since she's way too comfortable in someone else's home. She replies that she's wearing the clothes she normally wears, and he says that's why he tried to tell her about this before. She swiftly pulls him close and asks if he sees her that way, which makes him blush. He explains that he has a sister 3 years older than him, and ever since they were young, his sister has had an eye for beautiful things. She loved everything pretty and organized things neatly. When his sister entered high school, she introduced him to her best friend, and when he first saw Hanako, he believed she was the standard of beauty to live up to. Back in the present, he looks at her and thinks she's super cute. He admires her beautiful face and says she is God's perfect creation. He then blurts out that he has the same preferences as his sister. Hanako doesn't understand what he's saying and she asks what he means, but he tells her not to worry about it while zipping up her sweater. He tries to walk away, but she tugs on his shirt. With an excited expression, she asks if they can play video games together and he says he has to study. She begs him to play for just 2 hours, and he's surprised she planned to play that long. He's exhausted, checks the time, and realizes it's already night. She tells him she's hungry. He says he'll make dinner, and she says she wants some too. She asks what he's making, and he tells her some udon. He asks if she wants something else, and when she asks why, he explains that his sister gets mad if he only cooks what he wants, but she won't mind if Hanako wants the same thing. Hanako says she'll have the same. She receives a text from Tsuko, Asahi's sister, saying she won't need dinner. He asks if that's true, and Hanako confirms. He adds eggplants his sister hates since she won't be joining them, and Hanako says the food looks delicious. After they set the table, he comments that his sister is always busy, but Hanako doesn't seem that way. She explains it's because she's in the literary department while Tsuko is in the science department, which is busier. When his sister left for university 2 years ago, she took him with her, and since Hanako went to the same university, she also started living with them. Now Asahi spends more time with Hanako than his sister. He looks at her from the side and thinks every angle of her looks perfect. He tells her she's eating her hair, and she bends over to his side. He asks what she's doing and if she wants him to tie her hair. She gives him a hairband and he takes it. While tying, he notices her front is open, so he looks away. He finishes, and she thanks him, smiling and saying that he'll make a good husband. While washing dishes, he thinks that if such a pretty, attractive girl with a defenseless face gets close to someone, no one could resist falling for her. She says she'll borrow the shower, and he tells her to go ahead. She gets an idea, so she sneaks behind him and tells him not to peek, then laughs and says she's kidding before walking away. Asahi's legs give in, and he internally shouts for her to give him a break. He calms himself down, reminding himself not to misunderstand no matter how suggestive she seems. It isn't like that, because when he was in middle school, he overheard her telling his sister she only liked him as a brother. If she saw him as a man even a little, she wouldn't let him do her laundry like this. He can even tell apart his sister's and his first crush's underwear. The next day, they run into each other and she greets him with a smile. He says it's been a long time since he's seen her in outdoor clothes like this, and she asks him how she looks. With a serious expression, he gives her 100 million points. He asks if she just came from work going home, and she agrees. She then asks how the last day of his exams went, and he says just the usual. She jumps on his back and tells him good work. He asks if she can teach him something. She's surprised he's asking her to teach him. He asks why she's surprised since he heard she got good grades. She explains that his sister wouldn't forgive her if she didn't go to the same university, so she made her study extra hard and she barely made it. While watching TV at home, she asks him if that's the boy band he and his sister have followed recently, and he agrees. She tells him that guy is cute. She looks at him and notices he seems distracted, so she asks what's up. He asks if she isn't sitting too close to him, and she asks if that's really what he thinks. He tries to stand up, but she pulls him back and says don't. He tells her okay, and she continues munching on her chips. He tries to clear his mind and think of nothing, because she was probably treating him like a pet dog. She then receives a text from Tsuko saying she won't be eating with them. He tells her that he's going to cook, so he has to leave the seat, and she lets him go. He finishes preparing the meal, looks at her for a moment, then brings her the food, and she's thrilled. She thanks him for the meal, takes a bite, and thinks the food is yummy. She tells him she can't believe he cooked her favorite meal today. He asks if something bad has happened to her, and she twitches at the question. She asks if it showed on her face, and he tells her no, it was just a gut feeling. She says that's not cool of her and insists she's fine. He tells her that when he says that, he knows she's not fine. She thinks for a second, then tells him she loves herself too much. He doesn't know what she means and asks if that isn't a good thing. She tells him sometimes she wonders if she didn't have this face, would she still be able to love herself? Maybe she would avoid misunderstandings and get along better with other girls. There are times when she thinks about those things, and she thinks it's her fault for being too naive. He grabs her shoulder and, with a serious expression, tells her beauty is justice that prevails over all. She doesn't know what he means by justice, and I can't help but think of something else when I see this panel. He starts speed talking, describing her beauty in extreme detail, saying they would be foolish to scorn and trample on her flawless beauty. She doesn't get what he says at all. He tells her he wants her to be mad when she gets hurt, but one of her good traits is that she can never do that, so whenever something like this happens, he will get angry on her behalf. She is touched by his words. He remembers when they were in high school or cram school, a girl grabbed her on her way home and accused her of seducing her boyfriend or something like that. He actually went to a shrine and prayed for the girl to fail her exams, and he also hoped the guy who was bothering her at her part-time job would stub his pinky toe on the corner of a drawer. He tells her he honestly doesn't know if it had any effect. She suddenly jumps on him, and he thinks she's doing the thing where she treats him like a dog, but instead she kisses him. She then strips down until she has no clothes. Sorry, I think I was reading a different script. Let's continue. He is surprised that she kissed him on the cheek. He shoves her back and says this isn't like her, and when he looks at her, she's as red as a tomato. He is completely surprised at her expression. She nervously tries to explain that it wasn't what he thinks. She just got a little worked up and did it by accident. She tells him not to think too much about it. As usual, he's denser than a black hole, so he thinks she'd also do that to a pet dog. He says he remembered he bought some strawberries earlier, and he walks away. She is completely flustered by everything that just happened. When Tsuko comes home and sees her expression, she immediately blames her brother. She asks him what he did to her friend, and he does not get what he did either. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment for part 2. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.